I'm saying? And the last couple we're going to talk about is Courtney and Nick. Nick, give you what you wanted, not what you needed. Um, Courtney, girl, all this bodybuilding, and you talk about Nick is boring. Well, Nick has been on 5 reality TV shows. So I think what we can say is that I don't know why Courtney would say Nick is boring because 5 producers of reality TV shows who pick non boring people have chosen Nick to be on shows. Okay. And Courtney, what I'm going to say to you is you're boring. You know, what have you come up with? You don't have no ideas either. Courtney, what you're waiting for is a man to entertain you. You think you're fun, Courtney, but you're really not. That's why you vibe so well with Felipe because Felipe was doing all the work. Okay? You said, "Oh, I could talk to Felipe all day long." Yeah, because Felipe's energy, he carries the fun. You just have to be there and go along with it. You're not the girl, Courtney, where you're tired of bringing the fun. There's some fun people, they're always bringing the fun. They go, "Yeah, but I'm tired of doing it. So can you carry a little bit of the load, Nick?" No, that's not you, Courtney. You have not brought 1 ounce of fun to this marriage. So the fact that you're already calling Nick boring, Nick has been on 5 reality TV shows. The last thing he probably is boring. How can you be on 5 reality TV shows, 6, and be boring? He would have never made it. This is telling me that no, Nick's not the boring one. You are, Courtney. You're the boring one. And what you're sitting around waiting to do is you're waiting for the guy to entertain you. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. You want him to be the bubbly person, the cheerful person. Because honestly, Courtney, you kind of masculine. You a bodybuilding, you kind of masculine. The way you opening up bottles, the way you snatching things out of Nick's hands, the way you trying to say he ain't handy, I guess I got to do it. No, you don't have to do it. Let him figure it out. You could step aside. You could let him struggle with open up a bottle. He'll figure it out. Why did you just have to snatch it away and do it? You didn't have to do that. He could have gone and asked somebody else to open up. You didn't have to do it. You wanted to do it. That's the role you like to take. So I already know what your problem is. Like you said, what you want and what you need, right? What you want and what you need. No. Courtney, you need to lighten up. That's what you need to do. Nick is there to make you lighten up. You take life too seriously. You need to lighten up and you don't want to do the interior work yourself. So what you want is you want a guy who's going to do it for you. You want a Felipe where you can get to be who you are and he carries all the fun. No. Learn how to change yourself. You become fun. Because right now, I don't see an ounce of fun with you. Y'all have zero chemistry whatsoever. Nick is very positive. Even in this situation, he's thinking y'all are in a good state. No, you're not. You're not in no good state, Nick. Not at all. And Courtney is negative thinking. Just like before she even found out who Nick was, she was so worried that Nick wouldn't like her. Remember at the wedding before she even met him, is he going to leave me? Is he going to run? She's negative. She's very, very negative. So she wants someone else in the relationship to carry all the positive energy because she's negative. No, you do need a positive guy, but you're gonna wear a positive guy the hell out. He ain't even gonna be with you. He is gonna leave you because after a while, even positive people don't want to be with negative, boring people. That's who Courtney is. That's who he is. And Nick is trying to tell you, listen, I got a computer science background, so I do have this logical side. I did a lot of this to please my parents. Nick is a pleaser. He did a lot. He's chosen his whole career to please his parents. And what he's saying is, but I have this artistic side to me that I'm trying to move into, right? And I've done it trying to go on reality TV shows, but what I'm really looking for is avenues to have more self-expression. And Courtney is over here sitting like this. Entertain me, entertain me, entertain me. Ugh. I don't like Courtney. I'm not a fan of Courtney. I'm sorry, Courtney. I'm not a fan. I'm really not a fan. Then we're going to go on to Marissa and Adam. Same thing. Marissa's a fun girl. She's a fun girl. She's a go with the flow girl. Go with the flow kind of girl. And you know what? Adam actually needs that type of a woman because he's rigid. He likes to do what he wants to do. And he wants a woman to be a certain thing. And, Marissa is saying, I don't mind now that he doesn't drink. She said, in fact, I'm liking the fact that our chemistry is not based on being drunk. There you go. So Marissa, you're finding out that maybe what you did is need is a sober person, so you can show up sober more often, so like you can stop making decisions in your drunkenness. So you're already learning. And Adam, probably what you need is a woman who is going to follow you more, who's not going to compete with you, who lets you sit there and play piano 10, 10 songs on the piano, right? Who just does what you want to do. Maybe that's what you need. But the problem with Adam is he also judges, right? He judges a lot. Will he pick at Marissa too much? Even though Marissa is showing signs that she's willing to do whatever Adam wants. I will be the girl you want me to be, to follow you around. Will Adam still be so judgmental about her that she's not good enough for some other reason, right? For some other reason. Um, because she like Marissa's liking everything about him. His muscles. She likes the fact that he is a good kisser. He said he's been training all his life to be a cutler. That's why he works out. And Marissa said, I'm loving all this. I can be the drinker if you don't want to drink. The thing is going to be in the background, even though Marissa is saying, I'm willing to do these things, will judgmental Adam still reject her? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. So, in this respect, how we talk about we gave people what they wanted, gave people what they needed and not what they wanted. Maybe this is what it is. Marissa, maybe you did need a more serious person because you are so cavalier. You are so go with the flow. You do need a person who's more grounded and more stable, who's going to steady your ship because you're all over the place. You're all over the place. So you might need a person like an Adam who takes reins, who gives you more boundaries. Marissa seems like a girl who doesn't have enough boundaries in her life. And Adam is going to come here and give her boundaries. And the question is going to be is, can Marissa still have a good time within those boundaries? Or does she want to be all over the place and continue to date those kind of people? Going to be very, very interesting. Like I said, the theme of this whole thing is give you what you want, give you what you need, not what you want. I look at Michelle and Cameron. I'm still very high on these two. Think about it. What these two really, really wanted, foundation was commitment. And it looks like they both got commitment. They both got commitment. But let me tell you, red flags? Absolutely. What is the red flag that Cameron's getting from Michelle? The fact that she might have fertility issues. Cameron said that the number one thing he wanted was to have babies. He wanted the babies to be a soccer player, had the mother bringing juice on the football field, the soccer field, and all those other kinds of things. That's what he wanted. And now he meets a woman who can barely say she might have fertility issues. But what was Cameron willing to do right here, right now? Compromise. He was willing to compromise. And what he said was, that is a thing I really want, but I'm also willing to possibly adopt. I am. I'm willing to adopt because I have a sister who's adopted. So this goes back to what I'm talking about when we talk about when people come in saying what they want, but also recognizing what they really, really need and being able to shift and make these decisions. I think they're going to be able to have babies together. I do. I just think I'm just a positive thinker. And we also know that Michelle already froze her eggs. So I love the fact that these two are grounded on the base, which is commitment. And it looks like what they're both willing to do is compromise. Because Michelle is compromising on Cameron. I do think so. I think she wanted a man that made a lot more money. And I don't think that a community college coach makes a whole lot of money. I don't think so. And I think she's compromising on that. But I think what she wants is family, a man who's committed to having children, and she got that. And I think that's gonna bind them well. And and what I say when I talked about with Felipe with transparency, what I like about these two, they were transparent. I said it last week that Cameron brought up his red flag right away and said, I haven't been in a committed relationship. Michelle brought up right away, I might have fertility issues. There's a level of transparency to that I like, because when people are transparent, they're willing to be transparent and vulnerable, because what they're really saying is, I want this to work, and transparency is required for something to work because we can get ahead of the issues versus faking it, lying and not telling you. And then when the issues come up, now they're too big. And that lying has ruined the relationship, right? A lot of things can be worked out when you practice transparency. But if you lie and you're dishonest, it's harder to work out those things because now you're dealing not only with the lie, you're also dealing with the thing that made you lie in the first place. So, like I said, give you what you needed, not necessarily what you want. And something tells me that Michelle dated a lot of fun guys because I think she's like the karaoke girl. She likes to go out, right? And I think in the past she dated a lot of fun guys. And I'm not saying Cameron's not fun, but he's not that guy who I think wants to be out there in the streets, in the clubs like Michelle did. Her brother said she likes to be out. And I don't think Cameron's that guy. So I think she's getting what she needed, not what in the past she has tried to be with. You see what I'm saying?